Good afternoon, this is Lurking Lately. We're starting part 2 of the Absolute Beginner's Guide to Stellaris. In part 1, we went over all the menus, all that kind of stuff, and we started to kind of slowly grow out and expand our empire. We met an alien civilization to the south. They matched our government ethics almost perfectly, so I'm not too worried about them, so I'm not really building up the military. I think we're going to be good friends. So we're going to keep on going out and exploring, seeing where the other civilizations are, what else is out there, and slowly expanding. Now we're already over our empire limit, so to speak. We have an admin capacity of 50, we're up to 83, it's only going to get worse. But looking at the penalty now, you can see that it's really not that bad. Right now it's just about a 10% penalty to technology cost, about 15% to tradition costs, and just some higher upkeep. So we're going to keep moving forward. The idea is, we want as many planets, colonized and being developed as possible, so that when the penalties do become large, we can overcome them with the right amount of people and buildings. So. But other than that, looking, at our income, we're doing pretty good kind of across the board. I see that we have some extra food, so let's see if... so we're already kind of encouraging growth on our capital. I hesitate to encourage growth on our colonies only because they are so small and all the emigration's coming from our capital. So I think I'm going to hold on to it until... well, we'll see, but I'm thinking maybe just hold on to a reserve of food in case we start to run out of money. I think that's going to happen in this episode. So, with that, let's unpause and let's keep playing. Let's see where we're at. Now again, if I want to be a little more efficient, I'd probably be putting up star bases. I just want to see kind of where I'm going to place them, and it's easier to know where I'm going to place them for sure when I know what our kind of natural borders are.
Construction project concluded.
Now, this system itself isn't that great. I mean, it could be better maybe if there's something good under that anomaly. But the reason why I'm taking it is that Empire Sprawl, affected also by having star lanes from systems you occupy running up against systems you don't occupy. So it's going to add to our overall, administrative sprawl, but it's also going to kind of reduce the penalty a little bit by filling it in. I don't know how better to explain that, but I'll probably fill it in with text later. So we're going to go ahead and take this system right here. Whoops.
System survey concluded without incident. System survey concluded without...
Alright, let's survey some of these systems. And grab this boat, I guess. And we'll keep slowly just waiting for see what's out there, So it looks like we have an ocean world here. So I think that after we fill in this slot right here, we're going to start expanding towards this ocean world. It's only 60% habitability, but I'm willing to take a 60% and up. It's also, very large. I believe the max size you can get for a planet is 25, and the bigger the planet, the better, because you can have more districts, and thus more people, more buildings, and whatnot. It also appears that we run into some aliens. And again, it's more mining drones, so we will just mark this area as restricted and come back to it later when we have a good-sized fleet. Again, we're going to leave the anomalies alone for now. We're going to come back and fill them in. I'm also thinking that once these guys hit level 5, regardless of where they're at, they're going to turn inwards and start searching anomalies, because our current kind of leader level limit is level 5, and so there aren't going to be scientists that can research any faster. Now again, you know, there's kind of two schools of thought in terms of, you know, whether you should research anomalies right away or not. Now again, like these level 1s, they'd be pretty easy to knock out even now. But I still believe, hey Firestar, how are you doing? Welcome back to the stream.
Construction project concluded.
There's two schools of thought on knocking out the anomalies. One is that, you know, you'll find your precursor race kind of bonus sooner, but our precursor race isn't like the best one out there, so I'm not too worried about it. And it looks like we can pick another tradition. I think, well, Discovery is a nice one, because when we finish it out, it's another 10% to research speed. Also, Prosperity is a good one too. It'll help make us a lot more money and save us in maintenance costs and whatnot. But I think we're going to go with Discovery because we're still got a lot of stuff out there to explore, and we can speed up anomaly research speeds. So let's pick Discovery for our second tradition. Prosperity will probably be the third one. So how you been, Firestar?
System survey concluded.
That's good. Alright, it looks like we found actually a tropical world here that's closer to our borders. So we're gonna go just move our constructor there, and we'll claim it as soon as it's fully surveyed, because it's gonna be better habitability. It's a nice sized world, and it's close to our borders. So
Anomaly found.
again, leaving all these anomalies alone. Looks like we have some unemployment here. So we're doing okay with housing. Got just a teeny tiny bit of crime, and we're doing good on amenities too. So I'm thinking, because I'm not really too worried about goosing up food, I'm going to build an energy sector here. Because in addition to research and unity, you know, for your traditions, sprawl is going to hurt energy the most. It makes, you know, having leaders way more expensive. It makes, you know, adopting edicts more expensive. So it's always good to have a bunch of money in the bank. Also, since we are doing pretty good here on money already, I'm going to go into edicts, and I'm going to do a healthcare campaign. Again, it's going to cost a little bit of money, but it adds, you know, 10% pop growth empire-wide. And again, it's all about, you know, pushing out as many pops as soon as possible. Oh yeah, Hearts of Iron 3, it looks complicated. Okay, so we've got another unemployed colonist here. And we also have a building slot. Let's throw down I don't know, another energy district. You know, I'm going to hold off on the energy district. I'm actually going to build something like a mining district. My reason being is that, you know, eventually we're going to have more like consumer goods factories are going to eat up stuff, and we can always sell minerals for money. I also kind of want to have just a couple extra districts in case we want to move robots to other planets. So we'll do that instead. Oh yeah, no, I saw that, and actually, like, they're really good players. They all micro every single unit. It just seems like, I don't know, man. It seems a little much for me.
Anomaly found.
And so again, I'm just kind of letting things run. These guys all have jobs to do, so Okay, it looks like we've run into some alien vessels here. And what have we got here? Again, more mining drones. It also has, well, a tomb world there. So, I think, this will kind of be our natural stopping point here, kind of moving westward. Because, it'll stop other people from moving in here because we've got hostile aliens until they have a big enough fleet. I'm curious to see what else is out here, but we're already kind of getting big on Empire Sprawl, and we got a lot of space to fill in already. So I'm not too worried about that. But, now that we've gotten to this stage here where we're blocked off naturally, I think I'm going to have this guy start researching all these anomalies and kind of backfilling his way in. Only because he can't expand any further. So let's start him off with this easy one up here. Okay, so we've met another empire because we were in contact with this empire. So let's see what they're like. Alright, they're egalitarian, but xenophobes. So, on the one hand, some of our, ideas, our ethics match, but it's hard in general to get along with the xenophobes. Again, kind of like in our last episode, when you first meet an alien race, if you have a response that matches one of their ethics, choose it. Or if both match, choose the both option. It will increase their initial opinion of you, or at least you won't get as big of a penalty. So we're going to choose that, and we're going to take a look at them. Okay, so it looks like they're kind of blocking this empire in here, and it looks like they can probably start coming up towards our empire this way. So it's something to keep an eye on. Okay, so I'm going to just click to where it is. Okay, so it's in their land. We're not going to get to it in time. It's theirs. I got another unemployed pop. So again, I'm just going to add just like another mining district in case we want to move robots there. Now keep in mind, every district we build is going to increase the size of our empire.
Concluded. Horizons expanded.
Okay. I almost feel like we should start researching military techs, but it's cheaper. Automated exploration protocols is cheaper. It speeds up our survey speed, and it allows for automatic exploration. So I'm just going to pick that one. But eventually, we're going to have to start doing more of a military focus.
Construction project concluded.
And we'll just claim this outpost here. Now you'll see here that before we were always kind of almost running out of influence, but now that we're making more influence per turn, it's starting to tick up. Once it hits like a healthy amount, I'm going to build another construction ship, and we'll start claiming 2 systems at a time. I believe it's still just a little bit too early for that. Okay, so these guys, they probably will not be the friendliest with us, only because they're xenophobic. They've also rivaled our friends. Now, I don't want to rival... Okay, so if we were to rival them right now, we'd get an extra 1 influence per turn, which would help with our expansion a great deal. However, it would set us up for conflict with these guys, and their fleet power is more powerful than us. And I just don't want to give them an extra reason to fight us, but what we can do is talk with these guys. And it's too bad we can't form like a non-aggression pact. We could guarantee their independence, which would increase trust more. But I think trust is just going to scale up naturally because of the research agreement. So I'll leave that alone for now. But I think that now is when we're actually going to go to our shipyards. And even though our ships aren't that great, we are going to go ahead and start building to our fleet limit for ships. We can always refit them later for a cost. But I think that now that we've got a xenophobic empire that's, I'm guessing, is going to have some kind of a lane or a way in towards us, now's the time to start building up our fleet. So it's 5. Okay, so that should put us at kind of the fleet limit. And again, I don't expect this fleet that we're building right now to be very good, but when the AI does their calculation, it's going to say, oh, this guy's got a big fleet, you know, and, you know, anything we can do to dissuade an early war is kind of to our advantage. We want to fight kind of when we're ready and on our terms.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, so we'll build the research station. We'll also go ahead and build, you know, I keep on you know, queuing up a bunch of ships and then canceling them to build a colony ship, but kind of the nature of the game. So let's go into the expansion planner, and we're going to look for Welguvis. And we're going to build a colony there. Now again, habitability is not that great, but it's good enough for my purposes. And maybe we'll find some kind of... okay, so let's look at the species, actually. Let's look at these foreign species. Alright, so... these are the research minor empire, so to speak, the curator order, so we don't care about them. These are the guys that are going to be kind of our enemies, I believe. Yeah. And so they're Arctic. And then our friends here to the south are arid preference. So one thing we can do is if we find some decent arid worlds, we can try to have a... oh, and they've got a good trait too, conformist. Conformist is good because they will more likely adopt the ethics of our nation. So they're going to come in with radically different ethics that reflect... well, actually, then they're the same ethics as us. So when we find some arid like planets in our system, we'll see if we can get an open like a migration treaty going. And then we'll see if we can colonize some of these arid planets with their species. Because that's just kind of like opening up a whole new class of planets that they can settle. So that's something to consider. Also, if we were to conquer these guys here, then we would have access to their species as well and be able to get like Arctic, you know, frozen world kind of ability to colonize. So... alright, so we got our first anomaly done. It's nothing really spectacular. But we'll keep on having that guy research anomalies. Okay, so what we found here is a ruined megastructure. Megastructures you can build with... you know, with the right technology, or you can find these ruined ones that are out there, and then they can, you can rebuild them with the right text and whatnot. So, you know, we're gonna see if we can keep this within our empire's borders. I don't know how long it'll take us kind of to expand this way, but I don't think anyone's gonna beat us to like this choke point. So that's good to have.
Anomaly found. System survey concluded. Construction project concluded.
Okay, so what are we going to do with this construction ship? I still say we kind of swing around this way towards the ocean world. I mean, we're eventually going to want to get all of this under our rules, so to speak. But let's try to be a little bit picky starting off. Now, there's two ways we can go. We can go straight this way or this way. I'm going to pick this way because I think I'd rather have energy than physics research. And it's the same kind of star lane distance, so to speak. So let's settle this area. It's also got a bunch of trade, too, so if we build a well-placed starbase outpost, we'll be able to collect a good number of trade and bring in that energy. Okay, so Wither finally built their colony. We'll just let them, we'll leave them alone until they have unemployment. And again, we're just going to let this thing run forward.
Research concluded.
Finish some more research. And we can build gene clinics. Those are really good buildings. Should we do tile blocker removers or adaptive bureaucracy? Let's take a look at our planets. This removes toxic kelp. So there's not going to be any on our home planet. Let's look here. This has all dense jungle. This has one toxic kelp. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to do adaptive bureaucracy. One, it's going to make leaders cost a little bit less, so it's not going to hurt the expansion, overexpansion, modifier isn't going to hurt us as much economically. But two, it leads into better techs in the future, so we'll take that.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, so we've built that colony ship. Let's go back to the shipyard and start queuing up a bunch of corvettes. We just need 10 of them. And then we'll be at our max. Alright, so it looks like there's multiple anomalies here. One of them is the limbo one.
System survey concluded.
And again, I'm just letting the game run forward, just making sure everyone's doing something. So this guy's going to have 2 special projects, so I'm just going to order him to research the projects in the system.
Anomaly found. Construction project concluded.
Alright, so we'll just mine this area, move on.
Special project concluded.
Okay, so one of our special projects is done.
Construction project concluded.
And move this guy here to start building a starbase outpost.
Research concluded.
Right, we can harvest crystals now. Now this one isn't actually an exploitation. It's a building you can build on your planets to turn minerals into gas. But it's also a very useful one to have. This is useful too, but I'm going to take this one because having the ability to generate strategic resources in this game will make your game much, much easier. So let's choose the gas refineries. Like anytime there's something related with special resources, I always choose it because I never know when it'll come back up. Also, since we now know how to exploit crystals, let's take a look in our empire or the areas we've explored and see if there's any crystals out there. So far, it doesn't look like there are any that we found. However, we do have a bunch of anomalies, so maybe one of them will pop up in one of these anomalies. At least that's my hope.
Special project concluded.
Alright, so we're going to actually download the neural patterns for this species. This is on the off chance that there's a certain fallen empire that might be interested in them. We'll get like kind of an improved relation. We also may be able to eventually bring them back to life ourselves. Okay, so this guy's all done with his anomaly researches. I'm going to move him in towards the Empire rather than out, because when this guy finishes up, he'll just come back and hit these areas. So we'll grab this guy. Or this guy, I should say, sorry. And we'll have him research this anomaly. I'm trying to knock out the low-level ones first, and then move on to the higher-level ones, because they're going to take longer. And hopefully he'll have experience from the lower-level
System survey
ones.
concluded. Horizons.
Alright, so we found another archaeological site.
Anomaly found.
But we have some more unemployment. So again, I'm just gonna have like maybe one of each, and then I'll start focusing these planets up more. So we're gonna build a mining district here, and some more unemployment. So we'll build a city district to start off for the housing.
Construction project concluded.
Now this system's interesting because it has just raw alloys you can get, so we'll just be getting +1 just, you know, for a cost of 1 energy a turn, so that's pretty good. Alright, so it looks like we're at our fleet limit. Let's take a look at kind of our standings as opposed to our neighbors. So now we're pretty much on equal footing with both of our neighbors, and that's good. So let's see if this guy would be interested in any other further pacts. No. He's still kind of wary towards us. We're getting more trust. I wonder what our trust max is. I'm almost inclined to guarantee his independence just to build more trust more quickly. But I'm going to hold off because I still want to get a good amount of influence. The other option is, now that we are at our limit, of fleet limit, we can go ahead and rival the Union of here Al-Qut, because they are already rivaling our friends, and the xenophobes are never really going to like us. Like right, you know, I mean, they don't hate us, but they're never going to be like good friends. So I think I'm going to go ahead and rival them, because that'll improve these guys' relations with us. We'll get more influence. On the other hand, we are setting ourselves up for a potential war with these guys. But I'd say we'd be bold. Let's rival these guys. They're going to turn around and rival us back.
Receiving transmission.
See, these guys already like us more. Now they want a financial treaty, and the other guys close their border. Let me just check. If we were to talk to them, what would the... See, they're already open for a defensive pact now, a commercial pact. I don't want to spend 0.25 influence for 1.45 energy a month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to form a defensive pact with these guys. Okay? And I'm going to decline this commercial pact. And they're going to accept it. Great. So the good thing about defensive pacts is they're just that. You know, we have to come to their defense in a war, they have to come to ours. But if they choose to go on the offense, we don't have to necessarily join. They may ask us if we want to, but I'm not interested in that right now. But basically, now this means that, you know, he's going to think twice about attacking this guy, so his strength relative to us, it's going to be limited somewhat, and he's also going to think twice about attacking us there, so... Alright, let's research this anomaly.
Receiving transmission.
And now they're saying, do you want a migration treaty? We have one desert world, so that'll be like 60% for them, because they're arid, I think. Yeah. How big is this desert planet? It's 14. I mean, another planet's another planet, though. Right? You see, the reason why I hesitate is that I'm afraid my guys will leave my empire towards them, and then their guys will come in towards us. But, you know, we don't, you know, they're not going to be happy on our, like, home planets. So what if we were to accept it for now, see if we can, like, colonize that desert planet, and then close it out after, after we have one of their species. So, yeah, let's try that. Let's agree to the migration treaty, and then let's check our shipyard, all right, or our expansion planner. And we'll say Serban 2, and we'll populate it with their species. And then once that's been settled, we'll stop the migration treaty.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
Alright, so our research deal just ran out. It's going to cost us more money now to renew it, but we do want that increased research speed. And so basically, again, we're kind of looking at the penalty here. So we've got a 9% technology cost, and we've got kind of a raw bonus of around 35%. Sorry. 35%, yeah. So as long as kind of the bonus is better than the penalty, I think we're in good shape. Alright, so they've rivaled us back. They've closed their borders. That's fine.
Anomaly found. Construction project concluded.
Oh, and there's another desert world here. So we'll claim this system, and we'll build another... There's one over here, too. So we'll keep the research treaty going as long as we have desert worlds we can colonize. And again, if you're not going real wide, I wouldn't recommend doing this, you know. But I am, so we are. So I'm just going to kind of round it out by adding one agriculture district. Or no, I'm not. I'm going to get rid of that. You see here, now we're down to 0 amenities. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build a... Oh, we can build crystal mines. Okay. We're going to go ahead and build a gene clinic. Now, it's only going to produce, you know, a total of 20 amenities, you know, for both jobs. It's going to eat away at some of our consumer goods, but it's going to add to pop growth as well. So let's pick the gene clinic here. Okay, let's take the risk and let it run. And let's just check out our factions, see how they're feeling here. They're pretty happy.
System survey concluded.
Alright, so we've got a kind of special scripted events, so let's take a look at the alien species procurement. We'll just track it. That actually works out pretty well. So we'll try to finish off that quest as soon as possible.
System survey concluded. Construction project concluded. Research concluded.
Alright. So more energy would be good. More research would be good. But I think we're getting to the point where we start want to think about ships. And this is actually like a cheaper tech. So let's check out combat computers. And we'll grab this guy. And rather than continue with the anomalies, I'm going to have him start procuring these alien species. Okay, so again, this guy also looks like they're running out of amenities. So we're going to go ahead and build a gene clinic.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
All right. So looks like we've got another desert world. We'll go ahead and settle that. And we'll start expanding out this way.
System survey concluded.
Alright, so we've got some more space on our home planet. We've got one open district, and there's 3 that are blocked by tiles. I think we're going to be running low on consumer goods soon. So I think another consumer goods factory wouldn't be a bad idea. And so I think that's what we're going to do, because we're going to have those gene clinics come online, and we're only going to build more of them in our other colonies, so this number is going to start dropping. We kind of just want to make sure we have a positive income on everything. Now, you'll notice here that like a lot of these building slots are being used up by multiple of the same factory. We're going to have 3 consumer goods, factories here. The good news is that with technology and the right special resources, we can upgrade them to provide like multiple better jobs of the same ones. So we can like upgrade one factory, delete the other one, and then fill it with something else that's useful.
Anomaly found. Construction project concluded.
So this is pretty good. We've got, again, 2 different worlds down here. So I think that once we claim this one, we're going to swing back around. And we'll just, I guess we'll just claim straight down this way. And we also have a world up here. Alright, let's slow things down. So Wither, they've still got some happiness and whatnot, so let's build a generator district. This construction ship. Build there. And with the science ship, we're going to go and secure more of these species. I'm also inclined to build... whoever just subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm only working off one monitor, so I can't tell. So if you want to take a bow in chat. But thank you. So what I'm going to do, I think, is... Because this guy's going to be kind of... This construction ship's going to be building here and then down here. And we're making an okay amount of influence. We'd be making a lot more if we didn't have that defensive pact, but I stand by it. I think I'm going to build another construction ship just so we can go over here and claim this system here. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I mean, the truth is we don't actually have that much influence left. So maybe I won't. I just talked myself out of it. Because you figure it's about like 70 influence per system.
Anomaly found. Construction project concluded.
Okay, so we got that colony ship built. We've got some surveying done. Let's go ahead and survey down here. And I almost feel like this guy's being cut off here by these guys. So, and I mean, and we are getting kind of big empire-wise. So I'm thinking maybe, like, eventually we'll start claiming down to here, maybe all the way down to here, depending on what these 2 systems look like. But then we'll just kind of explore and not necessarily expand any further. The other kind of issue you have to think about is before you... Okay, so eventually you can build, like, these stargates where you can just warp your ships from one stargate to the next. Well, that's a very late-game tech. And so now we gotta think, like, well, let's say we were attacked by some kind of empire over here. We would have to take our fleet, which is currently in the capital, and they'd have to fly all the way around this way to defend. So, I mean, if these are good systems, then I'm going to claim them. But if not, maybe this will be like our natural stopping point for now. Because I'm not averse to this guy who we're always going to be friends with. I'm not averse to him kind of expanding in these 2 directions to become more powerful. I mean, the poor guy only owns like 3 systems. So, and we are kind of getting big, and we're only going to get bigger as we expand. I do want to kind of aggressively block as far into this guy's space as possible. Like, I actually think that the smart thing to do would be to try to expand straight to here, or even here if possible, but he's probably going to grab it in time. But we do want to kind of cut this guy off somewhere here because we want to kind of limit his ability to expand since he is our rival. We also have another tradition. So let's definitely take a survey speed increase and chance of disengagement.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, and let's just claim this system right here. And then we'll swing him around, and while it takes him a long time to get here, maybe we'll regain some of that lost influence. And we'll see if we can maybe cut this guy off to here, or preferably here. Probably won't get there in time, though. And we'll leave this open, because again, this guy still has a far way to expand to get to that nice planet area. Okay, so we have another unemployed pop. It's a robot, so again, I made a silly decision and built a factory. So there's empty clerk jobs. Let's move this robot to another planet, okay? So let's take a look here. So let's move him to Ubicrosi. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Altair Prime, right? And we are going to go to Resettle. Now you'll see here that we can't resettle our human pups because our policies, they don't allow us to forcibly resettle people. However, farmers are just farmers. So we're going to send this unemployed farmer to Ubicrosi. It's going to cost us a little bit of money, but it'll just fill out their population faster, and they, that robot can work the mine.
Concluded.
So, all right. So we figured out adaptive bureaucracy. I'm not really worried about terraforming. Let's take the ground defense planning.
System survey concluded without incident.
Now, one thing is, like, why am I not building robot factories on these other colonies? Well, in terms of jobs for the robots, we're going to be just a little tiny bit limited starting off. I think that once we get the appropriate tech where robots can also run energy factories, I'll consider building more robot factories. But for now, I'm happy with the robots. And what the hell was I just doing, actually? Oh yeah, we're going to work on this guy here. So let's survey here.
Construction project concluded.
I don't really care about the election.
Special project concluded.
Gonna keep on with the species procurement.
Construction project concluded.
And it looks like we've got two other colonies. So I guess we'll do the ocean worlds for ourselves first, then another one for the alien species. So let's go to expansion planner. And we're going to pick Gatria. Ocean world. Huh, I wonder why we can't do that. Is there because there's some kind of anomaly above it? Curious. Let's try again. Sort by habitability. And we'll say Gatria. Guess now that works. Weird. Now again, a lot of people would advise against building a whole bunch of 60% planets. It's gonna tank our economy. They won't necessarily have the best like production output or anything like that. But I just really feel like you want to take as many planets as possible. And this, alien race that we're borrowing from, I mean, they don't have any like great stats, but they don't have any bad stats species-wise. So why not? It's free population. Alright, so this is our construction ship. I forgot to build the research station there. We'll go ahead and do that now. Then we're going to swing them around, and hopefully we'll increase our influence enough that we can cut them off here. It doesn't look likely, so maybe we'll have to like stop them here or here. I would have liked to have cut them off here, but I'm not going to spend the extra influence. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think we'll get there in time unless he decides to go, eastwards. Alright, so, cool. So, once your colonies reach a certain size, you can upgrade the capital. This will provide more jobs. And, always, if you have the option, upgrade the capital. It costs a lot more minerals, but it's totally worth it. And this is the reason why this one's bigger than these others is because we sent that robot over there.
Special project concluded.
Alright, so we captured that species. What the hell? We can always come back for the anomalies later. I just want to knock out this little mission here.
Initial colonization phase complete. Construction project concluded.
Alright, so it looks like we've got our colony ship. So we're going to take Gotria 3 and colonize that as well. With this other guy's race. Again, they're only 60%, but I'm okay with that. Also, it looks like we missed Izar 3, so we'll build a colony there as well. Again, for those of you who are kind of watching as a guide, this is like a very wide run. So you'll see that we're going to be going over our Empire sprawl capacity. But again, I think that can be mitigated with, highly developed planets.
Anomaly found.
Okay, so it looks like he is expanding this way. Hopefully he decides to go this way rather than this way. We're going to try to come down this way. Hopefully grab these 2 planets. But we'll see. I'm more concerned about cutting this guy's expansion off. And our influence is limited, so, we may not have the best outcome for these guys, but, we'll try our best. Alright, so these guys, they're got some unemployed, and they need some amenities, so let's build some gene clinics, again, for those amenities and that extra pop growth. And it looks like we can encourage population growth in our capital again, so we'll do that.
System survey concluded. Horizons.
And I'm going to stop surveying in this direction, because it looks like he's going to eventually cut us off here. So I'm less concerned about this stuff. Like, I'll eventually check it out, but I'm not going to check it out now. With this guy, though, I think I'm going to send him back to start researching these anomalies. And then he'll swing down here and try to grab this species over here for our alien zoo or what have you. So this guy's almost a level 5, so he's just going to be a little bit behind. So why don't we just go ahead and research this anomaly? Maybe it'll be something good. You see, he's already actually claiming this system here.
Research concluded.
Okay, so we have kind of 2 good options. One is like a Betharian power plant, and the other is like a destroyer type class, which adds to our fleet limit, and we can start building destroyers. So I guess the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check our planets and we're going to check for planetary features. So let's take a look here. I don't think there's going to be any like Betharian fields here. So we're looking at these like rare planetary features. I guess we can kind of look here. See, this one has a Betharian field. So I'm inclined, even though we could really use, a higher fleet limit and a destroyer type, just for the economy's sake, I think I'm gonna choose Betharian. Plus, it's a quick tech we can knock out. I guess he's gonna start expanding this way. Because he has like lots of planet types that will match here, but we'll see. He's also limited by the amount of influence he can use, so we'll cross our fingers.
Construction project concluded.
All right, so we have ships going there. Let's build another colony ship for Izar 4A. Also, it looks like he hasn't explored here yet, so he still has to explore in order to expand. Hopefully that'll slow him down some. Okay, looks like we found another archaeological site.
Construction project concluded.
It also looks like because of our rapid expansion, we're running out of food. We got plenty stockpiled, so we'll just have to remember to build some food districts coming up when we start to see unemployment. For instance, here. But we're going to upgrade the building first. Always upgrade first. We can run a deficit on food for a while. Yeah, the truth is we're almost getting to our limit here. And we are rival to these guys, so we can always kind of invade this way. But it's definitely something to consider. I'm going to kind of develop inwards, grab what we can. And then we'll hopefully our fleet will have better technology for our fleet. And then we can always, knock out these guys here or knock out these guys here. Because they're only like mining drones, or we can always, invade our rivals over here. I'm not too worried about being boxed in. Okay, so we've got some good choices here. We've got your FTL inhibition. So this is good because if we were to build a starbase on a choke point, they would have to defeat the starbase in order to fly past it and invade our inner realms. On the other hand, a hyperdrive, faster hyperlane movement is really good too. So I'm kind of torn. I think I'm going to go with FTL inhibition, only because, I know I'm definitely going to probably be building, like, if we can claim this before he does, I'm definitely going to be building a military starbase there. And the other problem, Firestar, is that, I'm kind of running on limited influence here. So, I'm hoping I can just block this guy first, then swing my constructor around and maybe block him here, preferably here, but, we'll see how it all works out.
Special project concluded.
Huh. So here's a question here. I mean, we could get influence right now. A small amount of it, that could help. Or we can try to bring up the ship. I'm going to try to bring up the ship. You think so? I mean, probably. Oh, well, it's too late. I already picked it. All right. So let's see what we got here.
Project concluded.
On our capital, we've got another unemployed robot. And these guys are already kind of at pop. Let's send him, let's send him to Craxima. So I'm going to resettle. Unemployed robot. Oops. Nah, I just wasted some money there. I'm going to go to Ubicros. And Craxima. And we're going to move this robot. Huh. It's weird. I would have thought there's... Yeah, there are two robots here. So I'll just move him, and that unemployed guy should get a job. Yeah.
Research concluded.
All right. How many jungles do we have here blocking stuff? It's not going to be any in our capital. We got 3. 4. 5. 5 tiles blocked by jungle. But those are all kind of new colonies. I'm almost inclined to get higher starbase capacity, just so we'll be able to put out our military star bases at our borders, and then fill in these trade areas with kind of collection star bases, so to speak. Yeah, because I mean these guys all have a lot of sectors left to build, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to take the starbase capacity. Society research would be good too, but we're kind of at this early expansion stage where we want to be a little, we want to start kind of developing the land that we have rather than just kind of expanding and grabbing as much as we can. All right, let's take a look here. So these guys going to do the research project. These guys are going to grab this species here. And let's take a look. So these guys, again, city district to start off, just so we have that extra housing. I'm going to build a, again, just for the sake of, well, see, we're starting to run low on energy here. Now what the hell? Let's build a mining district. We can always sell the minerals for money.
Construction project concluded.
All right. Now, I'm actually, just because it's faster, I'm going to skip this planet system, and I'm just going to move, as fast as we can down there. Looks like we've got more unemployment here, but we can upgrade the capital. Always upgrade the capital first.
Special project concluded.
All right, let's grab this anomaly here.
Construction project concluded.
Alright. We're running low on food as well, so let's build some food over here.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
And I'm just kind of like scrolling through the outliner. If there is one mod I would recommend for this game, I think it's called like Tiny Outliner or something like that. And it gets rid of all these fat headers, so you can see more information on one screen. Now, the flip side of this is what you can do is go into planets and sectors, right? And create a new sector and just leave it in the hands of the AI. It's especially something that you may find that you want to do as your empire gets really big, just so you don't have to manage everything. Like, you'll always want to control your core sector, like Altair Prime, but everything else you can always like cut up into sectors and have the AI manage it. I like to micromanage. I mean, eventually, like when everything's built up the way I like it, I'll split off some sectors for the AI to manage. But I prefer to micromanage. So I apologize if that makes for a more boring stream, but it's just I have more fun being a micromanager.
Construction project concluded.
Ah, he caught that system. What a jerk. Okay, so we've got some kind of matter of machinery in there. We can either proceed carefully or probe it. This sounds to me like a trap. I wish there was an option to leave it alone. Let's probe it. Okay. So where is that ship that's going to be running away?
System survey concluded.
Okay, so we'll see if we can block them off here. Because then they won't have access to this archaeological site. Oh well. I also want to know where this whole probe thing happened, but all my guys are on evasive maneuvers, so they should be fleeing. Let's see what's down there, though.
Construction project concluded.
Here we go. Okay, so we got some ancient drones there. Alright, bummer.
Construction project concluded.
Let's clean that outpost there. And I think that once this one's claimed, we're just going to go rush ahead and claim up to Yadixa. Unless we see something like really nice down here. Okay. Let's go ahead and build a farm here. Just because we're kind of low on food and energy. And again, this is all just because we've got like a million small colonies running.
Anomaly found. Special project concluded.
Okay, let's take a look here. So this guy, we'll put him back on researching anomalies. He's level 4. I kind of want him to cut his teeth doing some easier anomalies. So let's move him up here and research that anomaly over there. I'm also going to build another construction ship because we're gonna block this off soon. Then I'll kind of like backfill and mine here, and then with the second construction ship, we'll bring them down this way and try to get up to here if at all possible. That's a pretty good system. So let's go to our shipyard in Altair. We'll build another construction ship. We should have the influence to pull this off, or at least get it started.
Initial colonization phase commencing. Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Alright, so we'll send this guy down here to build an outpost. And everything else looks good. It's a real bummer. I really would have liked to have taken this system here. We just didn't get to it in time. We didn't even get to survey it in time.
Concluded.
Okay, so we can build a Betharian power plant. So these are another 2 really good options. You've got iron thrusters or star holds. Okay, do not underestimate ship speed. Like Firestar was talking about hyperdrives, better hyperlink drives. Those are good. Better just drives for your ships so they can move faster at non, I guess, warp or non-hyperlane or whatever. It'll really make you a much more effective fighting force. First, because you can engage quicker with the enemy. I believe there's some just bonuses for having better engines. But also, most of your time traveling across your empire to distant battles, it's going to be traveling through a system to the next hyperlane. So it's really good. Now, since I've already talked all that up, I'm obviously going to choose Starhold. The only reason I'm choosing Starhold is we're going to start plopping down star bases soon, and I want to be able to upgrade them as high as possible with defensive features, and the trade ones. I want to put as many trade collection points on them as possible. So I'm going to go with Starhold, but it's going to hurt. And again, this is all my personal beliefs. So if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments or in chat, or just do your own thing. But I'm explaining to you the reasoning of why I'm doing what I'm doing, so hopefully it makes sense.
System survey concluded.
Alright, let's just check this last system here, see if there's anything good over there. You don't want to get caught out here with your pants down, so to speak, so because if he was to grab this system, this guy might be cut off and there'll be no way for me to get back because we have closed borders. Okay. Let's just build another Let's build another energy district here. No. Because we're going to build an energy district there. So let's build a food district here. And an energy district here. Okay, so let's bring him back and look for the nearest, we'll have him research here, this anomaly. Alright, so this is a tropical world. I think I'm gonna let this one go.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so since this guy's gonna be hostile to us, as much as I'd like another tropical world, this means that even if we were to waste the influence claiming all these systems here to get to it, it would be very easy for him in a war to just cut us off here and, like, you know, take this area here, and it'd kind of be a hassle. So I think I'm going to stop my eastward expansion here. You know, eventually going to go up this way, but I'm going to stop it here. I think that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm just going to kind of backfill these mining stations, because I want to save my influence to expand down this way. Hopefully this guy still won't go up here. You never know what he's going to do, though. So with that, I think I'm going to just pull him back and have him start researching anomalies as well. Just so they don't build a starbase here and I don't get cut off. Because there's nothing you can really do then. You just have to disband and rebuild a new science ship. And it's a waste of resources and time and all that stuff.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Okay, so it looks like we've got like a planetary event. So let's go to our situation log. And we're going to go to... no, that's not it. Maybe do you need a science ship to do it from up top? Or am I just being blind right here? So these are all archaeological digs. Don't care about those right now. Don't care about precursors. Yeah, maybe I'm just in the wrong spot. Alright, well, I'll worry about that later. I don't want to bore you guys here during the stream and the video, so to speak. You're right, though. I mean, we do have one gateway here, right?
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so let's bring them back here, build a research. Right, so is that my situation log or is that a decision? Let's take a look here. You're talking the situation log? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Firestar. Sorry. Let me know if you can explain more. Okay, so again, finally have an unemployed pop. Start off by building a city district.
Construction project concluded.
Now, I'm going to try to kind of race forward claiming systems. And hopefully I'll have enough influence to be able to do that while I wait. Let's research these anomalies here. Galtier has some unemployed pops here. Let's throw another. Oh no. Let's try to get these guys upgraded here. Yeah, so let's move them to Wither here. Let's take our robot. Oh, yeah. No, I was looking for the one that they were saying that, you know, the underground civilization whole tree. We had a pop-up for that, but I couldn't see it. I'm holding off on the Living Sea. I actually did some research because I've never seen it before, but it looks like it's a pretty good outcome. So what do we want to do? We want to resettle to Wither, the unemployed robot. Then we want to go to Wither, and let's build another agri-district. I like to have just a couple on each planet, even if I'm going to specialize. Alright, let's... Ooh, no, it's too much money. You think that's above the planet? Alright, let's go to Cracksmar. I think that's where they said it was. I don't know. I guess we'll get to it eventually.
Construction project concluded.
Unless I missed it, let me know. So it looks like this guy's totally avoiding these planets that are perfectly habitable for him. I'm okay with that, though. So we can do increased research station outpost, or this was really good though. You increase the scientist level cap for your scientists by 2. So instead of having a max level 5 scientist, we can get a level 7 one, and we get more research alternatives. Although higher research station output is good too, but I think this is a better one. Alright. Yeah, we'll figure it out, Firestar. It also could be that I was just clicking through stuff really quickly and I misread something. That is a distinct possibility. I'm sure that when I go through and edit this video down later for consumption, I'll see what it is, and we can address it in the next video. In fact, that brings me up to a good point, Firestar. So in the first episode, I talked about factions, but I never really did anything about them. I just said, oh, look, they're happy, and they're giving influence. So let's talk more about factions. Okay, so we start off with these two factions, and they're really happy because, for the most part, we're doing everything they want. So these guys, they basically have a bunch of policies that they agree with, so they're happy. These guys are happy. They wish we had more research treaties out there, but we haven't met any other civs yet, except for one that's friendly and one that we chose to make unfriendly. But this new faction just popped up. This is a xenophile faction. and they're unhappy now. So they're gonna be unhappy. You know, the pops that follow this belief, these 5 pops, they're gonna be unhappy, and they're gonna cause trouble, and we're not gonna get much influence out of them. But there is a way that we can make them happier. So, for instance, one of the things is no purges. Yeah, we can fix that. I'm not planning on committing genocide anytime soon. So let's go to policies. Let's go to purge, and we'll say prohibited. Okay. So now if we go look at our factions here, they're happier about this. They've gone from like 20% to 45 or 30% to 45. I can't tell. Multicultural society, that's something we can't fulfill yet because we only have a migration treaty with one species, so we're halfway there. All refugees welcome. That also we can change in our policies. Now, we can fix that. We can change that now and make them happier, and we probably will. I will say this, and it is kind of a corollary to the whole. I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep an open migration treaty with these guys, but since we end up colonizing so many desert planets, I want to drag them in. New colonies tend to drag population from more established colonies, and since we don't really have any established colonies like of the proper species, I think it's going to be to our benefit to keep it going. But if you go over to the species tab, right, and we go to show the galaxy species, you'll see that, like, you know, a lot of them have good traits, but what if there's like a certain species out there that has a bunch of bad ones that would be really bad for your nation? Well, then it's more problematic. You know, you don't know if you want to let them in or not. Like these guys, they produce less unity. They're not good with governing ethics attraction. They tend to spread away from it faster. They are like us though, rapid breeders and nomadic, and they are extremely adaptive. So maybe that you know that works out. But it's something to consider. I know this kind of sounds horribly. This whole conversation sounds kind of icky given our current times here, but let's go back to our factions. Let's see what else. So they want us to join the Federation. I'm not sure if we're going to do that. Federations are good because, you know, you kind of have this, you know, a bunch of, you know, alliances basically with a bunch of other nations, and it costs you less influence and all that, but there are drawbacks. You know, it extremely limits your foreign policy. It limits your economy a little bit, that kind of thing. So I don't know about that. And new contact, there's nothing we can do. So let's welcome in the refugees, just to get these guys into the green. So we'll go to policies, and we'll go to refugees, and we'll say refugees welcome. So now if we go down to our factions, they're going to be happy, and they're going to be producing more influence for us, and they're not going to be causing trouble on our planets. Now, if we were to have another faction here that was xenophobic, okay, then their goals would be opposite of the xenophiles' goals, okay? So then it becomes an issue of how do you want to handle these factions, okay? Now, one thing you can do is you can go to your Manage Faction button, and you can you can embrace factions, which will change your government ethics, but they have to be like a majority, you know. You can promote a faction, which will make more people join that particular faction, or you can suppress a faction, which will make less people join it. But these all cost influence per month, and you can see here they're actually kind of cost a lot. 2 influence per month, 1 influence per month. So a better way to go about managing factions is keep the ones that are largest and that aren't in conflict with each other happy, okay? And you can usually keep, like... you can usually keep, you know, and this is another reason why I kind of picked this starting setup, because you can usually keep these guys happy. You can even usually keep, like, the industrialist faction happy. So you can have, like, 4 factions that are fairly large that are happy. But at a certain point, especially if you conquer... Like, for instance, if we were to conquer planets from this rival civilization of ours, their citizens would become our citizens, because Our purge policies are there's no purges in any form. So we're not going to murder them, and we're not going to displace them, okay? So they would be our species. So immediately a faction of xenophobes would form. And then you got to think, well, how are we going to deal with this? You know, we can either spend the monthly influence in our factions tab managing them, or we could be more direct. You know, we can try to use certain planetary structures and orbital structures and other, you know, methods to convert these conquered species to our way of thinking and our way of life. Now, it takes a while, but you save on influence, so we'll talk about that as the texts do appear. But I just wanted to talk about factions for a little bit because I kind of brushed over them and I never really got back to them. Okay. So let's take a quick look here while I was talking. If we missed anything, we got a construction ship. So again, I'm going to keep moving this guy forward. We're going to try to race down here as fast as we can. We'll probably be able to do like one more, and then I'll hold off. I'll start mining a little bit and then see if we can just grab this last one too.
Construction project concluded.
And then with this guy, again, we're going to be limited by our influence. But with this guy, let's just bring him back just so he has something to do while we wait. We're going to move him here, and then eventually he's going to fill this blank area with a starbase, just to cut down on kind of the Empire sprawl. I mean, it's still going to be one extra system's worth of influence, or what do you call it? Sprawl, but it's you know, these little like one spots that aren't, you know, used, they're kind of negatively affecting our sprawl. All right, we got a new technology, and it's a good one actually for us. But again, I'm going to hold off on upgrading ships until we're in a war. Let's upgrade them now. Okay, just did some more research there of anomalies, so let's keep going. This one's going to take a little bit longer, but we might as well just knock it out.
Initial colonization phase complete.
Alright, so we got more colonies up. This is obviously going to add to our sprawl, but again, it's always a good idea to have planets. Maybe not the 60% ones that I settled, but I stand by my decision. I go super wide. So right now our tech cost is up by 30%. Our traditions are up by 50%. And our leader upkeep and leader cost are up by 100%. So let's just take a look at our technology. So basically now we're like breaking even tech-wise in terms of technological progress. So what we're going to want to start thinking about doing is building some more consumer goods factories and then some more labs. Because the penalty is just going to keep going up until we research certain techs. And we can overcome that by building more labs, but more labs are going to need more consumer goods.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so they did grab this one with the one planet that we could have taken, but we are going to end up grabbing this one, I think. I'm okay, you know. I would have preferred to grab this planet, but we didn't.
Fleet enhancement supplied.
So we kind of have a full fleet, and we have a bunch of minerals in store. So I guess one of the first things we can do is we can upgrade our starbase here. Now, you'll see here that the only really the only starhold we have in our empire is the one in our capital. The rest are all star bases, so we're limited in what we can do. We can currently have a total of 5 of them. So I'm going to build one here. I'm just going to click on my star base and upgrade it to a starport. Okay, that'll take some time. It'll take some minerals, and then once that's done, we can start filling it in with modules like this one. Not necessarily the same modules, but certain modules. Now the main point of this one here is if there is an attack, to kind of hold them off and counter them here. Because these guys are our rivals and they may decide to attack us, or they may decide to attack our allies and us simultaneously. You never know. So we're gonna build the star. We're gonna upgrade it here, and then we're gonna start throwing on modules. And you'll also see here in our technology, I'm increasing my starbase capacity and their next kind of upgrade level. So that's gonna help us as well in terms of defending and expanding defending and developing our holdings, so to speak. And then once we have our fort star bases set out, we'll set up our trade star bases, and we'll talk more about trade, even though I kind of went over it in the first episode.
Construction project concluded.
So you'll see we're running a deficit, but again, we got money in the bank. We've also got resources that we can sell. You can only have a maximum of 15,000 minerals, so we may just go ahead and sell some food right now, some minerals right now. Okay, so now we've claimed everything we want. We'll just backfill and start, constructing all this stuff. Let's go to our market here, and we'll go to minerals. And we'll talk about selling minerals. Like in the first episode, I said that if you're ever in a pinch, you can sell minerals. The other thing is if you're ever producing too much, you can sell them on the market for money. Now the market. So first of all, this isn't like the galactic market. This is like our internal market. So the prices aren't very good. They're also dynamic. So right now, because we haven't flooded this this market with excess minerals. Minerals are selling for 0.7 energy credits per mineral, and you can buy them for 1.3 energy credits per mineral, okay? Now, we're going to sell 10,000 of our 13,000 minerals, okay? And so, you'll see here now, the price to sell them has dropped to 0.42 energy credits per mineral, and the price to buy them has dropped as well, to 0.78, energy credits per mineral. So if you are going to sell in the largest denomination possible, because this will eventually tick back up. As they're sold, to other people or other, I don't know what they do with these minerals, but as it's sold, this will kind of level back up to its natural norm. But if you were to sell a bunch of them 100 minerals at a time, each time you sold it, the value of those minerals on the market would go down more and more, so you get less bang for your buck. So now that we do have 6.8k in the bank, we're running a pretty big deficit, but I'm comfortable contacting the curator order and asking them to aid in our research. And okay. Only because technology is key, and the one drawback of going wide is you need to kind of stack as many modifiers as you can to research as possible. Also, because we are a technocracy, from our starting traits or civics, we're producing a little bit more science naturally than we normally would. So I'm kind of remiss on building as many labs as I should, because we're still doing okay. But if you're playing with a race that isn't like a technocracy, then you may want to start building labs sooner. Alright, got a bunch of science, and we'll bring them back this way. Keep researching anomalies. So there is a little wormhole here. We don't have the tech to actually like explore it. Again, there's an anomaly down here, but I'm afraid that if I send a guy here to research it, they're going to claim the system and I'll be blocked off forever. So
Research concluded.
okay, we got the FTL inhibitor. Now, what do we got here? So we already got the level 2 laser just from our anomalies. So we could go with a level 3 laser, which would be pretty good, right? We can get for more research. We can get for a better like reactor for our fleets. That would be really good. What I'm looking at is research complexes. Now you need research complexes. If we go to our capital here, they're the next level up of research building. Okay, and so they'll employ more scientists, create more research, eat more consumer goods, but basically get more bang for your building slot buck. Now the one problem is we do not have any exotic gases. Okay, we don't have them. I don't see them anywhere in our system here. Yeah, I don't see them in our system. Let me just check one thing. We could build an exotic gas refinery if we wanted to. And that'll turn minerals into exotic gases. 10 minerals into 2 exotic gases. It is kind of a for one single job, it is a whole building slot. But it will allow us to build upgraded labs. So it's a good tech to have. Because the more research we've got going on, the better. I'm kind of torn between a fusion reactor and research complexes. I'm going to go with research complexes. Even with no incoming exotic gases right now, because we have the ability to build them via factories. Okay, that's nice. Alright, so let's take this guy and let's just fill up this area here. Alright, so this guy finally has unemployment, so let's build an energy district there, the first district.
Construction project concluded. Initial colonization phase.
So our starbase is upgraded here now, and you'll see that as opposed to like having nothing above the star system, it now has a symbol for an actual like star hold. So you'll also see that it's here as well. So what are we going to build on this? Again, because this is primarily a military installation. Now I'm going to add eventually I'm going to add a trade hub here, so we can pick up from this colony, and we can pick up from here. But right now, let's focus on military strength. So let's go to modules, and the first thing we'll build is a gun battery. You'll see kind of a modifier of what it adds to your station. So we'll add gun battery, and we'll add a missile battery. And for buildings, I'm going to put... So, a target uplink computer means that the weapons here on hand will fire farther. On the other hand, if we built a crew quarters here, we could move... Okay, so why do I have my entire fleet docked here at Altair Station? I mean, it is our capital, sure. But more importantly, this starbase in Altair has a crew quarters, which reduces ship upkeep by 25%. So, we're paying less energy to keep this full fleet. Now, if there's going to be a war, it's going to be coming from here. So I'm inclined to build, even though a target uplink computer would be good, I'm inclined to build a crew quarters here, okay? Then I'm going to take my fleet, and I'm going to have them enter, set Yadiksa Station as their home base, and I'm going to have them enter orbit into the station. So by the time they finally travel over there, hopefully we'll be close to completing that station, modifier that'll. And in fact, we can actually move it up faster first, and then we'll add on the military stuff later. Okay. So this way, if there is a war, our military is well prepared to counter an attack and counterattack and move into their system. And then, since we're no longer going to be using Altair as the place where we're storing our fleet, so to speak, we can switch this out for something else. Now, what would be useful? Really nothing. Resource silos, maybe. But so what all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to dismantle this, because there's nothing here that I really like here for the buildings, and we'll save 1 energy credit per turn. So let's dismantle that. Now, what you'll see is as soon as this month passes, our cost in energy credits is going to jump up because we're paying more for our fleet, because it's no longer docked with crew quarters, but that'll go back down again. And rather than sending this guy all the way over here, I should have just had him wait here, because I forgot that we hadn't claimed that. Okay, so we just received a transmission from Zuracorp. Are they these guys? Did I just totally forget about them? That would have been silly. No, those are curators. Well, but let's talk about the Zuracorp. So as you know, the Curator Order, they're all about research. Let's talk to these Trader Enclaves, see what they've got. So what you can do from them is buy strategic resources. And look, this guy sells exotic gases, but his prices are not that great. And since we're running a deficit, we'll hold off. But definitely, once we get our economy in order, we're going to be buying as many exotic gases from him as possible.
Research concluded.
All right. So I'm going to take the... So a heritage site is nice, it gets more unity, some society research, but I'm all about increasing our habitability. Habitability is going to make all of our colonists happier, more productive, and it's going to reduce the maintenance costs somewhat. So it's if you have an option to raise habitability, do it.
Construction project concluded.
All right, let's take a look here. And again, now we're just kind of backfilling all these areas that we claimed earlier when we tried to rush down. So let's move him and have him claim this system so he can colonize it. Okay. Let's do the research project.
Construction project concluded.
Who are the Kurim? Are they our friends or our enemies? Let's take a look. Now, Kurim are our friends, so we're gonna return their minerals to them. Okay, so this is a fun one. So in Gatria Prime, we have a colony event where they have some abandoned terraforming equipment. So it's going to cause unhappiness, less food, and stuff like that. Now we can like dismantle it, I believe, for some minerals, or you know, run the process, and it's kind of luck based. And so either it'll turn our planet, I believe, into like a Gaia planet, or it'll turn it, kill off everybody and turn it into an uninhabitable planet. But what the hell? I say we take the risk just for the fun of it. So we got some unemployed pops here, but we can upgrade the building. So let's upgrade the building. And some unemployed pops here. Let's build, again, just some mineral districts. And look at this scientist, see what he's got going on here. Let's have him do the research projects in the system first. Alright, excellent. We got some extra energy. And some influence and friendliness from our neighbors. All right, let's keep an eye on things. We're starting to, you know, we've stopped production of, you know, we're eating more than, you know, we're breaking even on consumer goods, so we're gonna have to build that next. We've broken even on energy, so that's a good news. And let's build a city district here. Got another election coming. And we've met the artisan troop. Artisan troop, again, let's talk to them, see what they can offer. You can commission an art piece. I believe that I'm not too familiar with them. I think like for an art piece, you can install it on a planet and it'll increase people's migrating towards it. We can become their patron, which I believe increases like influence, and then if you have high enough relations with them, you can organize a festival which will increase like happiness across your worlds. But I'm not too worried about that right now.
Concluded.
Alright, let's take a look here. And what else have we got? Let's research this anomaly. Now you'll notice that our current leader keeps getting reelected. That's because he is backed by the largest faction in our empire. So that would be the Academy of Robotic Sciences. So he's usually gonna win, unless we interfere somehow.
Special project concluded.
Oh, that's why, because I got 2 science ships in the area. Duh. Alright. So we'll send this guy down here.
Special project concluded.
And we'll send this guy here. Or, here. Alright, so it's a nice even spread here. If I'm being honest, it doesn't really have that great of anything. So I think we're going to fill it out and then fill it out with districts and kind of turn it into like a production planet. So we're still doing okay for housing and amenities. So I'm going to go ahead and build another energy district here. And again, I say this with the full knowledge that I am not the best at specializing my planets. So if you have, if you're better at it, please be better at it. Don't generalize until the very end.
Research concluded.
All right, and we can upgrade our star bases. Once again, we have an option of being able to create synthetic crystal plants. Again, we don't seem to have. We have a lot of volatile motes, but that seems to be the only major resource we have in our system. So I'm gonna choose the option again of being able to fabricate them, because they're useful for our fleets and for other buildings, improved buildings and whatnot. So I'm gonna pick that. And I'm also going to go back to Altair, and I'm going to upgrade Altair to a star hold or whatever. I don't know. We're going to upgrade that one. We're also going to upgrade this one as well. That'll give us more just options on the base itself. Okay. We also have an additional unemployed pop here. So let's build another mining district, because this is our Empire capital, so it'll always have these same bonuses regardless of the split. And it's not like we have a lot of housing districts here, which is really too bad. But let's build a mining district here. Or should we? I mean, we're swimming in minerals. Well, we could be building an energy district. Or even let's build an energy district. I keep going back and forth. No, let's build a mining district, and then we'll clear these blockers. Alright, and then we'll fill out this last, city district, and then 2 more energy districts with the slots that we clear up. Also, just so you are aware, on your starting planet, you always have, these 3 blockers. And if you clear sprawling slums, not only will it give you an extra district, it'll also give you an extra pop. So you might want to plan that accordingly as well.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, let's try to stop this guy. Where is this? It's where the ISS Olympus is. It's almost worth building another mining a construction ship here, okay? So we can just go down here and grab this special project. You need a mining drone for it or whatever, a mining ship. And then we'll just go ahead and disband it. And because I believe you get a bunch of, you get like half of a tech for doing that, so that's why I'm doing it. I'm going to swing this guy down south here to research this anomaly. And we're going to research this project. And again, we've got an unemployed pop, so let's build a city district. Otherwise, it looks good, so we'll keep going. research that anomaly.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Okay, so Altair has finished the construction ship. So we'll just send it down here, do the research project.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Okay, so we've claimed another system with a habitable planet, so we'll go ahead and grab that. This has an archaeological site, but I'm not going to go ahead and colonize that yet. I'm thinking about backfilling here. Just looking for a good place to do it. Well, let's, you know, because we're discovering new stuff as we close out these anomalies, so I'll just have this guy go in and you know, exploit these resources here. So that's what we'll do with this construction ship.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, let's take a look here. Wither Prime. So they got like a nice little spread here. We still got a little bit of amenities and a little bit of housing left. I'm inclined to build a consumer goods factory here. Oh no, a Betharian power plant. So this is one of the ones that has a Betharian field. This is why we researched it, because it produces 10 energy. So there you go.
Construction project concluded.
Now, we don't have the technology to harvest this resource yet, so we'll leave it alone. I am going to go ahead and build an outpost here, just because
Special project concluded.
you know, we kind of want to have no starlings that go into stuff that isn't our land or somebody else's. So this guy's level 4, and this guy's almost level 5. So we'll take the level 4 guy here. He's also an archaeologist, so we'll take the level 4 guy here, and we'll research these anomalies, because this is a faster one. And then this guy, hopefully, he'll start researching this, and he'll get to level 5. Like, during the course of the research. Alright, so we got, again, a pretty good spread here. We got okay housing. I think I'm going to build, I don't know if I should build, like, another lab here. Or another consumer goods factory. Let's... Just to be safe, let's build another consumer goods, or civilian industry there. And then we'll know that we just have to build either, you know, a district or a city district probably next. And then here, they're already building something, and here we'll build another city district.
Construction project concluded. Research concluded.
Alright, so we figured out research complexes. There's a lot of good ones here. So this one's good because you can get capacity overload. You spend, you know, influence to get more energy credits in your empire. That can be useful. Disruptor is like an okay specialty weapon, and more research is always good too, but it's starting to get like expensive. So I think we're gonna go with the gravitic sensors, because we can get better sensors on our ships for fighting.
Special project concluded.
Okay, so we got 20% on deep core mining from this construction ship. I'm gonna send him actually here, because you see how, like, you know, one of these anomalies left a bunch of extra, you know, society research, so why not? Let's go grab it. And I'm also probably gonna spend the influence to close out this little hole here. And I'm gonna build an energy district here.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, so we've got another unemployed pop here on Altair. Huh. Yeah, because we cleared off all these things here. So let's build a city district. That'll employ that pop, and then another energy district, and then we'll see what we want to build after that. So we'll build a city district. City districts, housing in them will increase with tech. So that's something to keep in mind. The other reason is, like, why are we building city district when we're almost like at a full like district kind of capacity? And that's because, like, you still want all that extra pop on your planet so you can build more you know, factories and whatnot. So
Construction
again, I'm not really explaining that very well, but I'll explain it with text later.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Alien machine. Do we pull the lever? Or do we take it apart? I know I've done this one before, but I forget what it does. Let's pull the lever. Oh, absolutely. We're going to take the alien machine modifier. I mean, like, you know, some base you know, experience and physics research is nice, and some minerals, but it doesn't expire here. So let's take the physics modifier, and then we'll be able to you know, send a construction ship here to get that physics research. Okay, so this guy, he's the one who's our archaeologist. So he does excavation speed quicker. He's also almost at like level 5. So I say we bring him back and we start doing some of these archaeological digs. So maybe we'll send him to research the anomalies in this system, and then we'll just have him dig.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, so let's just take a look up here. This guy needs something. So we're doing good on happiness. We're still okay on, like, you know, housing. Again, I'm almost inclined just to build a civilian industries. And then you'll see here, now that it's like a little more upgraded than the last one, it's got like a more complex symbol here. So what we can do now is we can go to our starbase, and you'll see we have more modules we can open up here in Altair. So you can build like multiple shipyards, and I believe that you can build stuff faster that way. Or maybe you can build in tandem. I forget the exact thing. But what we're going to do here for these modules is we're going to build another trade hub, okay? So that will mean that they will collect in Ubakrosi, as far as Altabo, Savasic, and Serban. And then should we build another one? If we build another one, we'll grab this, but it doesn't look like there's any other natural trade out there. Not really. So maybe we won't worry about this last bit of trade here, but we do want that second trade hub. And what else do we want to build here? We can build like missile or gun batteries, but I don't think there's going to be much fighting going on over here. Like, if we already have enemy fleets this far in, then we're in serious trouble. So an anchorage wouldn't be bad. That would increase our naval capacity by 4. On the other hand, like, having some extra, oomph to our starbase here wouldn't be bad. Yeah, let's throw on a gun battery. And then for buildings, again, I don't see anything that really strikes my fancy. So we'll leave that alone for now. Or do we even need to build a gun battery? Because that's going to cost us 1 energy per turn. So how about we leave it blank, and then we'll decide if we want to use it for something else.
Construction project concluded.
Just because you can build something doesn't mean you have to build something. Alright, so Udixa has been upgraded. So we've got a gun battery, a missile battery. I'm going to leave a slot for like a hangar bay. We just don't have the technology for that yet. And I am going to build a shipyard here. So now we can build ships in 2 different areas. And I'll leave that last one blank for now. Although, like, if we built a trade hub, right, it would collect from this planet, right? And it would collect, from here, assuming we claimed it with, with a star base. And, the trade value in this system, it's already 3 natural. It's going to go up more when we have the colonized planet there. So, let's go to Udixa, and in addition to the shipyard, we'll build a trade hub. And we can always kind of switch stuff around if there's a war coming, or if it doesn't work out for us. And then in terms of buildings, I would say a target uplink computer is going to be useful here. And then we're going to go to our starbase here. Or not. We're going to go to our expansion modifier, or whatever, expansion planner, and do settle con viab. So. Again, I don't know why it wasn't just doing that. So let's go again, expansion planner. That's weird. Alright, so we've got all that building, and we'll just kind of wait stuff out.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Alright, there's nothing really around here that he can claim, so I'm going to go ahead and have him just build a starbase outpost here, just to cut down on Empire sprawl.
Another day, another scientific breakthrough.
There we go, some more habitability, so that's always good. Okay, so whenever you have this option to increase naval capacity, pick it. I've found that if you don't pick it, it takes a real long time for it to come back. I don't know what affects its weight. So I'm definitely picking naval capacity. So what's the difference between fleet capacity and naval capacity? Naval capacity is your total number of ships. Now, it's not really a one-for-one. So right now, our naval capacity is 20 total ships, and we have 20 corvettes. Now, if we were to build destroyers, they're larger, and so they require more like naval capacity than a smaller ship, I believe. Let me double check that when I upload this video. And then fleet capacity is how large your fighting fleet can be. So, even if you have a naval capacity of 500, if your fleet capacity is only 20, you can, field multiple fleets with, 20 ship value in it, but that may not necessarily be the most effective thing. So that's the difference. But if you see something that increases naval capacity, I would always go ahead and take it. So we got some constructions done. And we'll just check our plans real quick, see if anyone needs anything built. Nope. So we'll let it go. And you'll see kind of like, in terms of like the resources we generate, there's always kind of a lag in when something's a problem, and then when you build something to address it, and then it actually like, getting enough workers in it to fix the problem. So, you started off, we were really low in energy. Eventually things sorted themselves out, and now we're doing okay with energy. And then, for a while we had really high food income, and now it was negative for a while, and now it's kind of getting back up there. So, when you fix things that are wrong in your economy, don't expect them to fix within the next day or the next month. This is kind of a longer process.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
And we can also build another colony down here. So we will go ahead and do that. 2 colonies, actually. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to grab this scientist. Because if we go to our technology and we look at the scientist that we got, am I crazy? Didn't that option just give us the option to take a scientist? Maybe I'm wrong.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so that's all done. So now we're going to send this guy to excavate the site. Okay, so we got another unemployed pop. It's one of our species. We have 2 more district slots. I say we do like 1 district and 1 generator. So let's build a generator district next. And let's build a generator district here as well. Sorry for that.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, construction's complete.
Construction project concluded.
That should solve itself. No, I guess not. Okay. So let's build a food district.
Construction project concluded.
Wow, okay. Sorry, that just seemed to go really quick, or I don't know. Maybe my own brain's bugging out. Okay. So, alright, so we claimed all this stuff in here. Let's have him claim this energy that we skipped over. And have him claim the minerals and the physics.
Research concluded.
Look at that. She gave us the current research here. And a defense grid. Supercomputer. That's not bad. Okay, so let's check again our scientists. Maybe we needed that event to fire first. Yeah, okay. So see, we have the new scientist from that event. And now she has both expertise computing and spark of genius. So we definitely want her in charge of physics, okay? So that means that, you know, obviously she gets the spark of genius across the board, right? But then if it's a computer, she also gets the computer's bonus. So this one's, like, super awesome. She's also a higher level than the other guy. But now we've got this extra scientist, so what can we do with them? Well, let's look at our leaders tab. She's kind of old. But I say we throw her on a science ship. Is that even a good idea? Wasting money on a science ship? Or do we just fire her? I mean, she does have, like, decent skill, right? But it looks like all of our anomalies are, well, let's see what our anomalies are like. We still got a few anomalies out here, so let's build a science ship in Altair, and then we'll build some more colony ships too. And we'll have them do the research project.
Construction project concluded. Research concluded.
Alright, let's take a look at our research. So when you get, like, a certain amount of research in something, it's always an option that you can finish off, and I don't believe it decays either. So let's look at our options here. Corvette hull points is nice, but not that great. Robot modification points, that's pretty nice. We do have robots in our Empire, and you know, we can modify them so that the current ones and the future ones have, like, better bonuses. That will take physics research to actually, like, complete the modifications, but it'll also probably push us down the path of better robots. So, you know, maybe they'll be able to do better jobs and whatnot. Weather control systems is good too. City districts provide extra housing, so that means more pops on your planets, which means more buildings, yada yada yada. Space torpedoes is nice too. I know that this also kind of leads towards, like, mega structures, but this is cheaper. Let's do the city housing. I'm not, like, the best on the research tree, so don't take my word as gospel here. Alright, so we're at 0 amenities. Let's go ahead and build a June clinic. And let's check out our options here. We can have leadership gain increased by 25% and leader cap up, or research station output increased by 10%. Again, I kind of like the increased leader experience cap across the board, so that means scientists can get to level 8, and everyone else can get to level 6. And this will also kind of nullify our species deficiency. So yeah, let's take that. Okay, so we're done with that. And Altair's all done, so that means that we should have a free science ship. So we'll assign that lady, and we will tell her to go ahead and research kind of in this direction. So we'll start there. Also, because we do have kind of free space in our shipyard, let's start building colony ships for here. So let's go to expansion planner, continental world, choose our own species, and we should be good.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, so this guy's all done with his construction. Let's go ahead and build a starbase here, so that this station can collect from here as well. And then we might as well, since we're there, we might as well go over and you know, claim the system with the archaeological site on it.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
So looks like this guy can use something. Let's build an energy district.
Construction project concluded. Special project concluded.
Alright, another artifact. And what are we going to do with this guy? We'll send him down this way.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Let's take this one. And then with this guy, we'll have him go up this way and claim this system. And in fact, we can interrupt his job there and build this mining station and build this research station. And she'll go ahead and research this anomaly. Alright, so we've got our first kind of archaeological dig event, so let's click on it. And if you ignore it, it will never advance past whatever stage it's in. So we have to, you know, click here, read the little stuff about what's happening, and then say keep digging. So we'll get our bonus, and then they'll start digging again.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, so Yedex is built out. That's nice. Now, if I was worried about like an imminent attack, there's a Zuracorp's here too. So I think in our first war, we're gonna conquer, once they develop all this land, we're gonna conquer all the way up to like either Ubercoria or Murist. Probably Ubercoria. Because we're gonna want, you know, these guys Zuracorp in our system, and you know this planet is just like icing on the cake. So we'll be able to have like species with alpine settling capabilities. They're called the Huron, and they're good at food. They're strong. They're resilient. They use more housing. This isn't the best race, but we can fix that with genetic modifications. There's nothing like terrible about them. Again, I've done this one before, but let's keep a close watch on it. Alright, so what are we going to do with this guy here? We'll send him up this way to research this anomaly.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
So again, just letting things roll forward.
Construction project concluded.
And we'll build some mining stations. And do the research project. And we've hit another breakthrough here. So again, you read the text, and you keep digging. If you don't do that, it never advances. Okay, so another thing is that we've built that one colony ship that's going here, but we can actually build a second one with the other race. It's only 60%, but I say we go ahead and do it. So we'll go to Expansion Planner, and we'll build on Mirzum, again, using the other race, because I'm all about the planets. Okay, so one of two things happened. Either they're more powerful than us, too powerful for us, or we're too powerful for them to be considered a rival. So let's check on our contact screen what the situation is. So they have an inferior fleet to ours, otherwise our equivalent. I don't know why we can no longer be their rival if it says that we're equivalent in relative power, but. Oh, okay, I see what's happening here. Okay, so the Prikikiti, I believe, are an event-based race that's a fanatic purifier. So they're also fairly powerful out of the gate to make up for the fact that they can show up whenever. So they're currently, I believe, losing a war to these guys, and we may end up with a fanatic purifier on our borders. In which case, we'll have no choice but to expand and take everything. We'll also probably want to expand to save their race, from being purified.
Construction project concluded. Research concluded.
Okay, so we definitely want the moat harvesting again, because it's, we can get stuff with it. And we also have a bunch of moats in our system. We got 2 here. We've got 1 here. We got some, all over the place. Like the edict you get from researching it is okay. Energy would be nice. Let's send to our home world for research just in case. Also, we're kind of we're making enough money now that I think we should start buying. We should start buying from Zuracorp the gas. And I think that we should buy as much gas as we can per turn, even though it's going to totally hurt our budget. Okay?
Construction project concluded.
And let's build an outpost here.
Special project concluded.
Alright. That's a pretty nice system now, huh? And we'll move her up here to research here. And since our friends the Kareem have rivaled them again, let's see if we can rival them. We most certainly can. Now this may like fizz out in a little while, but every little extra bit of influence we can get is just, you know, a bonus.
Construction project concluded.
Okay. So again, like, we're kind of running low on influence. Do we, you know, close out these stations, so to speak? And we're getting pretty high up there, over the limit. Yeah, what the heck, let's build it. How is Omicron aliens? So let's take a look here. That looks like an alien race to me. Space station of some sort. So let's see if we can't contact them via situation log. And since our research income's like a lot better, it's only gonna take 4 months of time to figure out their language.
Special project concluded.
Alright, so we got another one, kind of harassing artifact done. Looks like we missed a research thingamajig here, so let's research the anomaly there. Okay, so it looks like one of our scientists died. Oh man, it was our guy who was conducting the dig. I hope it doesn't reset the dig. Let's find out. This guy's kind of old though. This one will look, rank up faster. Let's take the youngest guy who will rank up fastest. Okay. And let's look who our best scientists are. So this guy is 5, 5, and 4. So this one's not even like researching anything right now. So let's switch. This guy out for the new guy. And we'll send the new guy to research this anomaly. And then we'll take the old guy and we'll send him to excavate the site. And I'm picking this guy because as a higher level scientist, he'll get through the excavation faster.
Construction project concluded.
Alright. So we've kind of picked up all that stuff. Let's send them over here to build an outpost.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so we successfully translated the language, and they're fanatical purifiers. Okay, so you gotta watch out for fanatical purifiers. It doesn't really matter what we say to them. They basically they hate us and they want to kill us all off. Thankfully, we do have, an alien, some mining drones between us. But we're going to have to deal with them. So the first thing we're going to do is, since they're fanatic purifiers, and they're never going to get along with us, we might as well just declare the rivalry and take the extra influence. Like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to rival, these guys over here, the Union of here Al-Kut, because we could have worked out some kind of diplomatic difference. We only had, like, a negative 30 modifier. But with these fanatical purifiers, it's already, like, negative 1,000, so if you see them, you might as well just go ahead and rival them, because they're going to want to kill you, and you can't really make any agreements with them. So I guess what we can do is, after we claim this goods system, we'll just move up one more system and we'll build a starbase here. So that's what we can do. They're pretty big too, huh? Not a lot of planets, though.
Initial colonization phase commencing.
All right.
Construction project concluded.
And we'll just finish mining over here. And we'll build like a nice agriculture district here. Well, we're kind of running out of amenities, so let's build a gene clinic there.
Construction project concluded.
And what have we got over here? Build some more mining stations. And every once in a while I'm just scrolling up and down just to see where, if there's any unemployed pops or anything like that.
Construction project concluded. Research concluded.
Okay, so we've pretty much built all we're going to build in this direction. We'll let them colonize this last one, waste their resources. Then we'll conquer it from them later. So I say we bring this construction ship back around, and we claim this system with a starbase. Again, we're kind of just filling in the cracks. It's going to keep pushing us up. And also, as we build districts and colonies, keep pushing up. But it's just a good idea to fill out all your space. Okay, if you're going wide. So we got increased naval capacity. Now we can do the whole dense jungle clearing, or increased lifespan for our leaders. This is actually a pretty good trait to have. An extra 10 years of life on highly skilled, scientists and governors and stuff is good. And how are we doing on these places that do have the blockers? It just seems like there's still plenty of districts available that we don't have to worry about it. This one wouldn't be bad for a war. I can take or leave this one. I think I'm going to go with vitality boosters. Yeah, let's go with vitality boosters. Okay, so Edict Monolithic. If you say they are beautiful, you will get a bunch of extra xenophile pops. So just take the research. Unless you are a xenophile and you have pops you need to convert. So we've gotten a research option, Secrets of Life. I wonder what that is. Let's take a look in our science here under society research or technology. And if you ever want to like change what your technology research is, you can click here. I just want to see what. Okay, so it's just an advanced society research thingamajig. Okay, let's go back to what was it that we were researching there? Well, actually, in this case, it would just be. Would it be faster to knock this out? 23,000? No. Okay. So let's take vitality boosters. Okay. Looks like we've got another unemployed pop here. Doing good here. Still got a little bit of room there. So let's build another agri-district. And take a look at this guy here. See if there's any kind of big research projects or anything that he can do. Alright, so we're going to send him this way then, and he's going to start... I'm sorry, we're just going to have him move here. We're going to have him start excavating the site.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so we finished up all our Starling, all our system grabbing there. We can go out and close this area out, or this one. Let's just have him close this one out. Although we are running real low on influence now. Well, we'll just start disbanding some of these... Alright, we've got another of our primary species. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just upgrade this building. We're kind of reliant on purchasing gas from Zuracorp. But you see here, we go from having 2 research jobs to 5 of them. They also produce way more research. And if we don't start improving our research, we're going to fall behind. So I'm going to have them... upgrade this here. And it'll probably eat up, we'll probably go into a deficit with consumer goods, but we can straighten that out as well. I would say that the one thing that's kind of disappointing about this one start is we don't have a wide variety of resources. So that's kind of a bummer. So we're just going to have him just move here.
Construction project concluded.
Yeah, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this guy and I'm going to cancel his order so we can refund the influence. And I'm just going to tell him to disband. Or maybe I'll have him just hover over here. I'll have him move to this system, right? And once we figure out the technology for harvesting, the dust motes or whatever motes they are, we'll be right in position to do that. Then I'll grab this guy, and I am going to build a starbase outpost there.
Construction project concluded.
So you see, like, claiming systems with, you know, 3 of these construction ships at a time, it really burns through your influence. Now, there may be a point where you're gaining enough influence, like, with enough rivalries and whatnot, that you can pull it off. But, you know, it's something to consider before you build many construction ships. Okay, so this guy has a little bit of everything. We're out of housing, though, so we're going to go ahead and build another city district. So let's check here. We're doing kind of okay on all this stuff, but we can upgrade the building, so we're definitely going to do that. And we'll build some more agriculture. Well, we're kind of running low on amenities, so we'll go ahead and build a gene clinic. Again, we're going to have to start building more consumer goods factories in a second. And yeah, I say we go ahead and extend the deal. We're going to be kind of low on money, but I say it's always worth it for extra research speed.
Construction project concluded. Initial colonization phase commencing.
Alright, so it looks like we've got an unemployed pop. Let's build a another gene clinic. Now, the bad thing about gene clinics is they don't produce as many amenities, and they don't produce unity, so we're kind of falling behind in the tradition tree. However, I'm okay. I think it's more. I think it's less important than like staying current on tech, so I'm willing to fall behind a little bit.
Research concluded.
It's not great, but
construction project
okay.
concluded.
So I think we should go with the destroyer here, just for a higher fleet limit and a better ship. Well, not necessarily better, but you know, new ship type. And we'll build a starbase outpost here.
Research concluded.
Okay, we can harvest motes. Let's see what our options are here. I'm gonna pick the shields again, just so we can have better fighting craft. And with this guy, we're going to go ahead and tell him to start harvesting motes.
Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded. Construction project concluded.
Okay, so this guy's going to do the archaeological digs. And I think this other guy's going to be doing the anomalies. Yeah, let's just check our planets again real quick. Build some more food. We're still doing okay here. I'm going to build another consumer goods factory here. Civilian industries, I should say. And we have another robot. Let's ship him off somewhere. In fact, let's ship him to Izar Prime, right? And then we'll go to Izar Prime, and they still don't have enough people to build a admin, but oh, and the robot can't do anything until the ag district is built. That's okay. He'll still have a function there once that's built. Alright, oh, what cute little exterminators they are. Yeah, these guys are going to keep these guys busy. So once we have this system claimed, we're going to build a starbase here. You know, move our fleet over in this direction, because I'm more worried about these guys coming in this way. These guys will be busy. So this guy's level 5 too, so I'm just going to send him to do the archaeological dig there as well. And so we'll just kind of have two of them running in tandem.
Construction project concluded.
Alright, so I think that I've been streaming for quite some time. I don't know exactly when I started or what time it is right now. I don't have a clock in front of me, but it feels like it's been a while. So, also I'm kind of feeling like I've been talking for way too long, so I'm going to stop this video here. If you were watching, I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something. Again, if you like what you see, you know, like, subscribe, come hang out and chat in Twitch. So, otherwise, have yourselves wonderful days. I'll talk to you later. Bye.